The circle of life. It symbolizes the cyclical nature of existence, life, death, and eventually rebirth. And I don't really know what that means, but in the circle of life, in the animal kingdom, you got predators and you have prey. So today, naturally, I want to see if we take all the predators, ally them together, and fight against all of the prey allied together. It's a fairly simple concept, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So, first, we just gotta clean up the world. This nice looking world with all this equal biomes and stuff. Now get rid of all that. Hey guys, while I'm finishing this up, why don't you guys join my Discord? Links in the description. We got plenty of members. While you're at it, subscribe too if you haven't. Because look at this little graph right here. The number's not high. You gotta subscribe. Okay, so now we got our little blank slate. And we're just gonna put a giant mountain in the middle to separate it. And on the left side, we're gonna have predators. On the right side, we're gonna have prey. So in the mountain, I'm gonna write pred, and on the right, I'm gonna write prey. There we go. Now it's nice and clear. So naturally, before we even spawn in the predators and the prey, we're gonna have to buff the prey some, because I hate to break it to you, but if we just do the predators versus the prey on their own, the predators are gonna win. So we're gonna give the prey 2 advantages. First, we're going to make them spawn in the enchanted biome, and on the other side, we're just going to give the predators normal grassland. And secondly, once we actually start spawning animals, you're going to notice that I'm going to spawn double the amount of prey than I do predators, just to give them a small population advantage, at least at the start. So let's start spawning this. I'm only going to be spawning, you see these 3 menus right here, I'm only going to be using these creatures. I'm not going to be using humanoid creatures, because technically all humanoid creatures would be considered predators, so that's not fair. And also, I'm not going to use like this magic stuff. Alright, let's start. Cats? I'm gonna be real here. Cats are most definitely predators. They hunt mice and stuff. So we're going to spawn 100 of them here. That's probably too many. Next we have chickens. Those will definitely be on the prey side, so we will spawn 200 of them here. Monkeys. I honestly would consider monkeys prey, so they're going to have 200 of them here. Now sheep, definitely going to be considering sheep prey. Next we have armadillos. I feel like they would only have that shell if they were also prey. Dogs? Low-key dogs are predators, I'm not gonna lie. My dog's vicious. My dog is very vicious. Rabbits, definitely prey. Also, if you guys disagree with any of my rankings, just let me know. Foxes are definitely prey. They hunt on chickens, at least in Minecraft. Cows just eat. Cows aren't really either. They're not really predators or prey. No one really eats them, but they don't really harm anything. I guess I'll put them in prey. Raccoons are kind of in the same situation as monkeys, so I am going to make them prey, because they do get eaten by coyotes and such, but they don't really eat many animals. Obviously, wolves are going to be predators. Obviously, rhinos are going to be predators. Buffalo are not very violent creatures. Buffalo are actually very nice creatures. And while buffalo are very big, they actually are prey, so we're going to actually give them over here. This is going to be a huge benefit for the prey side. Because in WorldBox, anything can happen. Bears, naturally, those guys are going to be predators. A hyena, obviously, natural hunter of the monkey, actually. They're definitely going to be prey. Rats, I mean, if you're talking about the plague, they're technically predators, but we're going to go prey here, as we're going to interpret them as mice. Wasn't quite sure about alpacas. Mr. Google says that alpacas are prey, so we're going to go prey. Capybara, I'm assuming, once again, they are also prey. This one's just an assumption, though. Goats are generally considered prey, too. And penguins. Penguins are definitely prey, right? Penguins are in between, but I'm imagining penguins going to eat fish, and fish can get preyed on, so I'm actually gonna make them predators. Now, I know they're kind of the middle ground area, but what really eats penguins? They're the only thing in the Antarctic, I think, so I don't know. We'll sneak them into the predator side. Ostriches run away from a bunch of stuff, so they're definitely prey. We have 200 of them down here. Crabs are certainly prey. We'll spawn them down here. Same case with the turtles. Snakes. Snakes actually are very defensive, but I'm going to make them. They will become predators. Crocodiles, once again, they are also predators. We'll spawn them up here. Scorpions, once again, it's kind of like snakes are really just defending themselves, but I'm going to put them on the predator side, even though maybe this one's not technically accurate. And then we have 2 more. Obviously, piranhas. It literally says predatory fish, but I don't really know what you want me to do with them. And as for the frogs and seals, it says right here, fun fact, frog eat bug. Frogs are definitely predators. I didn't really think about it until just now, but they really definitely are up there. And lastly, seals, they're prey. They get preyed on a lot. Just like little kids in the comment section of a Minecraft YouTuber. Alright, and now the tone is set, but I may have forgotten to mention that all the species we just spawned in are going to become sentient and make their own civilizations first, and we're going to give them some years to develop. Then they will ally up and fight. I just didn't want to use the humanoid versions of them because that would be a little bit different, and I did recently just make a video of all the new humanoid species fighting. So I gotta make all these species sentient now. I'll see you guys when that's done. So the predators and the prey subspecies has been set. I'm just gonna click unpause and we're gonna see the villages form. Oh, look at them all pop up. So now some of these species, specifically on the predator side, are actually probably going to start killing each other soon. I think some of the penguins have already been slain by the bears. So we are going to quickly ally all of these guys together. This should stop them from doing anything stupid. I'm so glad this ally tool was added to the game. So we can go by the Unity tab, and we have the prey, and then we have the predators. So already looking, the predators have a few hundred less than half of what the prey have in terms of population, which is because if I look right, I believe the prey actually has more civilizations too. But we do have to remember that the predators have like rhinos and stuff, so this is still going to be very tough for the prey to win. So to actually keep the predators from just eating one another, I actually had to make them all omnivores, which is where I realized that rhinos actually are already herbivores, meaning that they actually are not predators, but I've just put them in predators because they're like really big. So all the species should not try to kill each other now, and I will give all the sides some plants so that they can eat. Feast, my children, feast. And it looks like to a degree both sides are actually struggling with food and such. Both sides are having some battles over hunger, but in general it looks like both sides are beginning to actually prosper. So now I'm going to speed up time. We're going to need to give these guys a lot of time to develop because they really have not figured it out yet. We're going to start this war at year 200. I'm going to do a quick check-in at year 100 just to see what's going on. So, speed of time, and I'll see you guys then. Time for the SpongeBob transition. 3 days later. And we are now approaching year 100. There we are. My game has begun lagging because the population is now up to almost 9,000 people. So, as you can immediately see, the predators have actually closed the population gap. They have 3,500, while the prey have 5,400. Which, remember, when we first spawned all of them in, the prey actually had more than double the population of the predators. They still have about 2,000 more, but they have, I don't even know what the math is, but it's less than double. As you can see, if I actually unpause time, both sides still occasionally engage in the occasional fight, but for the most part, these guys are pretty peaceful now. So before we skip over to year 200, let's just check some interesting people stats on each side. In the Predators, remember, this is an alliance of all the kingdoms. The one with the most kills is this 70-year-old bear named Fuxin. 6 kills, which is pretty impressive considering we haven't even started a war yet. It's cool to see. The smartest is the hyena. The wolf is the fastest, and the strongest is obviously a bear, so to kind of see how they all work together. The oldest, which I'm only showing you because why not, appears to be a cat who's 113 years old, and I don't even have the old age laws on, so that's really impressive. So predators, they're doing pretty good. They still got some land to work with. They got some land they can expand into. If we look at the actual kingdoms themselves, it appears that the biggest kingdom is the rhinos. The rhinos are the ones that have done the best, and the worst I can see is the penguins. The penguins are down to just only 50 penguins left, jeez. Yeah, crocodiles also haven't really done that much. But let's move on to the predators. Let's look at their interesting people. They have 5,500 people now, which is a lot from the start. Their oldest is a sheep who is also 113 years old. The one with the most kills on this side is an ostrich who's wielding a sword in his mouth. She has 7 kills, so somehow more than the predators. And on this side, the smartest is split between 3 different monkeys, which makes sense for apes are pretty smart. The fastest is obviously a bunny, and the strongest is surprisingly an ostrich with 90 attack power. That's actually more than the bears, shockingly. And looking at individual populations here of kingdoms, the biggest one appears to be the buffalo. But now we sit back and wait till year 200. I'll see you guys then. Another SpongeBob transition. 3 weeks later. Alright, we are now approaching year 200. I'm on 20 times speed, and this is how fast the game's going because of how laggy it is. We can pause and let's check a few stats before we begin this war. But immediately, I think we both see the predators have closed the population gap. They literally only have 600 less people than the prey. They have 5,500, the prey only has 6,100. Insane how they closed the gap, I'm not even sure how. So somehow the most known person in the kingdom is a skeleton, even though I didn't spawn in skeletons. The oldest people in the kingdom are 3 turtles who are 208, which makes sense because I believe turtles in this game, they can live quite long because, like real life. The one with the most kills is still an ostrich, this one named Mellon, who has 9 kills. And looking at the bottom, unsurprisingly the smartest is a monkey with 61 intelligence, the fastest is a raccoon, which kind of shocks me, and the strongest, once again, is still an ostrich with 113 strength. If we look at the population pyramid, it actually looks pretty cool. Look at these ages. It gets up into 150, 60, 70, up to 200. I'm assuming all of these are turtles or other species that live a long time. And in terms of individual kingdoms, the buffalo are still the biggest. But look at this. These skeletons, I don't even know where they came from, but they just became sentient. I don't even know how, but they're just chilling. They're just here. They're in the alliance too. So I guess they're part of the battle now. Now let's take a look at the predators. Their most known guy is this wolf named Waff, who has 14 kills and 167. That's really impressive for a wolf. Oh no, dude, talk about a predator. We have a real predator. Waff is 167. She's dating a 13-year-old. Dude, they took predator a little too literally. Oh, it's terrible. The oldest is a cat named Meow, who is 212, which is that even possible? The most kills is that girl Waff we saw earlier, the real predator. So this is an interesting stat to look at. The smartest animal is a hyena named Voy, who only has 38 intelligence. The fastest is a dog named Fixin, who 46 is about the same. But the 2 strongest are 2 bears, who only have 87. That's a lot less than the prey's most strong guy. So the prey might stand a chance here, and they technically do have more people as well. In terms of population of each kingdom, the rhinos have actually lost a bunch, and our new king of population is the snakes. So it is time to begin the war. We're going to drop the gates in 3 sections. We'll drop them right here in the middle, down here in the south, and up here in the north a bit. And then, you know what time it is, it's time for war. We will have the buffaloes declare war on the bears, not like it really matters. And the war has begun. So let's look at the pre-war stats of the army. In terms of the army, both sides have a very similar sized army. The prey have a slightly bigger army. But I'm sorry for dilly-dallying, let's begin. My game is lagging so much. And we can already see marginal conflict at the gates. Explosions on both sides, enemies charge in. Who do you guys think is gonna win? Both sides honestly are losing an equal amount of people. It's kinda hard to tell. The goats are charging in the battle. They're actually making it through the gap, so which means they're actually doing a pretty good job. There's a huge battle in the north here as we just see packs of hyenas and wolves and bears charge into the east. Dude, this is a huge battle. I can see rhinos here too. It's so cool looking at all the animals, and here come the buffalo! The buffalo are charging in the battle from the north. Oh, jeez, what a show. In terms of population, the gap is still about 500 between both sides. The prey are holding the ground. I thought the predators, especially after they closed the population gap, would absolutely just demolish them. If we actually look here in the south, the predators, it appears that the prey are actually getting into predator territory and taking them out. However, the middle is where the real conflict's happening, where it's still a 50-50. Look at all these sheep with bows in the bag as they're taking on the other animals. This is so awesome. Oh wow, a village fell. Now I have angry villagers on, but the rhinos, at least one of their main kingdoms, was just taken out. Prey still have the population advantage. But if we look at the war stats here, which we're going to check for the first time, in total 2,000 people have died. More have actually died on the predator side than the prey side. But if we look at the predator's army is now 1,200. It's higher than the prey's army. So this could mean big news. In terms of the middle, the skeletons with the bows are absolutely sniping any enemy that comes along. The skeletons have been an integral part of the prey's army, which I don't even know how they got there. Can someone explain to me in the comments how they even got there? I have no clue. Here in the north, we see the rhinos trying to make a comeback against the sheep. The cows are beginning to charge in the battle. It's honestly a 50-50. It's toss-up right here. Population gap is actually widening between the predators and the prey. I think the prey are gonna win. I can't tell. It's still too early to tell. The skeletons are still doing work up here. The turtles are slowly charging in the battle down here in the south. That's so funny. They're slowly just crawling their way in. In the north, it looks to me pretty clearly like the prey have actually won. They're pushing in with animals. The monkeys are charging in. This is awesome. The prey have actually taken a village here, probably not that big in size, as the population gap is now actually over 1,000 between the two sides. And at this point, most of the conflict in the gaps has stopped, and the prey are continuing to just send their troops out to the west. There's still a little bit of conflict here in the middle, but for the most part, the troops are moving out west. Now remember, an issue we're going to see here, and this is something that we've seen in a previous video, is that the prey, once they're on the offensive, they're only going to send their army troops, but yet they're going to have to fight against the predator's army and their civilians too, as angry villagers is on, which is going to cause some more issues and slow them down. The sheep, the monkeys, the chickens, the rabbits, the armadillos, they're all just working together to send each other in. Actually, I believe that the rhinos have been wiped out. The crocodiles are in the middle of a giant attack right now, and the dogs are starting to go down too. And I might make a mistake here, but I'm going to speed up time even more just to watch the main progress of the war. We can watch it from above right here. The war appears to be in sort of a stalemate right now, with the prey having around 1,400, between 1,300 and 1,400 more people than the predators. But they're starting to go on the offensive. The predators have dipped below 3,000 people, but they're still staying around the mark. Fighting has gotten as deep as the Frog Kingdoms here in the south, the west half of the Frog Kingdoms. As more troops are sent in the battle, we can slowly see here the eastern half of the Predator's empire is getting destroyed as the prey sends their troops in. But once they get their troops in, it's kind of hard to see whose army is whose. And it's been 15 years since the war, so let's check a few stats right here. 4,200 people have died, 2,300 of those from the Predators, only 1,900 from the prey. The Predators have 900 soldiers left, the prey have 1,000 soldiers left, so they're starting to get the edge here. And looking at interesting people, the person with the most kills on the Predators is this rhino named Ari Kid with 22 kills. The prey with the most kill is this 6-year-old goat who has 12 kills. What a man, what a dude. Now, if you notice here, thing like I was saying, the prey are now down to 4,100 people and the predators still around 2,900. So this is what I was talking about. The army of the prey is starting to get weakened as they have to send in to fight the villagers. But they should still be able to hold out. The hyenas are about to lose one of their villages. Crocodiles have still held strong. The wolves are struggling. The frogs are nearly eradicated. The penguins are still doing okay. Still a lot of intense fights going on, especially around the border states, which shocks me. But if we look here, mainly around the middle, this is where the prey is doing most of their work. They are just flowing hundreds of troops in to destroy these cities. And the middle and south of the empire, honestly, is beginning to crumble. The frogs have pretty much been destroyed at this point, and this is really the predators' weak point right here in the south. Just as I suspected, the south of the predators is crumbling, while the north, honestly, is held strong. Now, an army that's going to be formidable for the prey to take care of is the snake army. They have 400 soldiers in just their army alone, and look at them. And an interesting development here, there's actually been sort of a counterattack. Some of the predators have been able to sneak into the prey's village, and I believe they even destroyed one of them. The predators at this point are now below half the population of the prey again, and they're running out of hope here. That snake army is actually making a push into a village down south, but who knows if they'll succeed. A very large army, several hundred people, but who knows how well the snakes will actually do. More fighting continues against the crocodiles up north, but nothing. It's still just a stalemate up here. Down south, the snakes are doing some serious damage, but it doesn't seem like they're really going to get much achieved from this. However, it does look like up here that the crabs have finally been destroyed once and for all. And the last-ditch efforts by the snakes were pretty much a fail, and it's only really a matter of time now until the entire empire crumbles. Checking war stats here, 10,000 people have died. This war has been going on for 63 years. It's so balanced though. This war has been surprisingly even. 5,000 predators have died, around the same, slightly less prey have died too. But prey's army is now twice the size of the predator's army, and the prey's population is more than double that of the predators. Been over 75 years now, and the war's stalemate, so I'm going to check some of the most interesting people on the predators. Oh my god, this guy Waff, the guy we were talking about earlier, the pedophile. Oh my god, it's gotten worse. Actual predator we saw before we started the war, he's still alive. He has 33 kills now, and now he's dating a 6-year-old. What is his problem? Her problem. Actually, this is a female. Whatever. Most kills, unsurprisingly, is her, but I don't even want to talk about her. Now, looking on the prey side, the most kills is this skeleton named Kurt with 11. I'm actually going to favorite Waff just so we'll know when she died. Waff was finally just slain. He died in this battle right here. The prey almost have 3 times the population of the predators now, and like I said earlier, it's just a matter of time. I'm just going to speed up time until it's almost over. And it seems like nearly all at once, yeah, the predators are just losing all of their people. Full-scale invasion has finally been held. Even more troops are on their way. And this is the end of the predators, I feel. The snakes, which had so many people at the start, are about to collapse. The wolves have been destroyed. The bears are almost gone. The penguins are still alive, barely. The cats are surprisingly okay. The snakes are down to just a few people left. It looks like they're about to fall. If they fall, it won't be long for the rest of them. The only main kingdom left for the predators is the cat. And we are just down to the cats here, who, since for the last village, the official alliance of the predators has actually been destroyed. And they're about to lose a village before the full force moves in. The poor cats. They're the last stand. They're the last remnant of this great empire. Look at all the destruction across the map. All the different houses from the different species. Everything. The frogs. All of it gone. Just the cats remaining, fighting on for dear life. Just one village left. And the final village is 50% of the way falling. So before that happens, we will check the final stats of the war. 17,000 people died. The war lasted 132 years. In terms of deaths, it was really evenly split, which shocked me. This war was so even. I thought it really could have gone either way. 8,600 predators died, 8,200 prey died, and it is over. A few cats, a few bears survived here and there, but everyone is now under the same flag of the prey. So guys, obviously, that'll be the end of the video. If you guys liked it, like and subscribe and all that, and join my Discord. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Farewell.